Okay, hey, good morning. This is get ready with me in my car. This is my first ever get ready with me in my car, and if it goes poorly, I won't be posting it, so that will be fun. I just dropped my kids off at daycare, and what I like to do is put a little makeup on my face before I start my day after daycare drop off. I'm using my Seint like little mini 4 palette, and this is my makeup bag. Sorry about this like massive line cutting across me. That's where the sun is coming in under my visor in my car, so it's whatever. If it bothers you, click off. No, just kidding, don't click off. Okay, so what are we gonna do? I have my 4 like shades that I basically roll with all the time, and those are plum. What the hell are these? I don't know what the shades are, but I'll list them below. But they're like my regular, like just 4 that I carry around with me. So I'm gonna go in with my darker highlight and just gonna put this on the areas of my face where I have the most discoloration. Don't go too crazy. And the reason I like to do this with my finger is because otherwise I'm just like unnecessarily muddying a brush. Some Seint folks like to apply their makeup with their brush, like dip, tap, dip, tap. That's not me, because I like to get the makeup on my face. Cream-based products, everyone has a different application technique. If I were applying this on like other folks, I wouldn't probably stick my fingers in my palette, but this is my makeup, so I stick my fingers in it. Where was I going with that? Oh, I don't like the dip tap technique because I really like to get the makeup on my face and give it like just a moment or two to really warm to the temperature of my skin, because it makes everything like way more smooth in terms of blending out. So that's just one color on my face. So I'm gonna blend this in, and I have this brush here. I'm not really sure what's this called. These brushes don't have names, so I can't really help you with that, but let's just blend this out really quick. For the most part, I don't really put makeup like right up underneath my eyes anymore because I think it just accentuates like any crepiness, but sometimes I do, and I'll use like the brighter highlight shade, which again, I'm sorry, I don't know the name of it. But anyway, I'm not gonna be editing this at all. This is just all like real time. So talking through this, the amount of time it takes me to put this makeup on my face is gonna be the length of this video. So some people really love that, others really don't love that. It's just like different strokes, different folks, whatever, and that's fine. But you know, the kind of premise here is to be like showing off how fast it is. So okay. You notice about my face, like I've kind of just like flattened everything out. This is like this is a 3D foundation, meaning that like your base is going to be 3D. I do it like that sometimes, and then other times I just apply like regular makeup. Today's just like just a regular giving myself some coverage type of day, and I'm not going to be like contouring. 1, because I don't have a contour shade with me, and 2, because like once I get bronzer and everything on, you're going to kind of see. So this is my bronzer. I'm gonna put it on my finger. It looks unsavory, just disregard that. But I do my bronzer sort of like other people do contour, but I'll explain my bronzer technique. I know this looks so strange right now, but give me just a minute to explain it. So I put my bronzer where the sun would naturally kiss your face. So that also happens to be where some people put this looks so like, it looks so strange. Let me just talk through it. So the sun would naturally kiss my face, obviously on the highest points. If you ever spent time in the sun, then you probably know that like your forehead, this part of your face, your bridge of your nose, and then also along your chin, the sun tends to hit those places the hardest. So I do literally exactly that. You're probably gonna like be like, wow, this is unlike any makeup application I've ever seen. And you know what? That's fine. Like, you learn your face, you learn the contours of your face, and then depending on like what look you're trying to achieve, you can kind of, you know, go about your makeup technique in such a fashion as to reflect that. So for me, as I mentioned, I like to mimic what the sun does on my face, and it really just depends. I don't like a heavily chiseled face because, one, I think, well, it just depends on the like event or day or whatever. And this is going to be a longer video because I'm like spending so much time talking through what I'm doing as opposed to just doing it. But I have quite an angular face to begin with, and I just don't find any like need to accentuate through contours or whatever. There's nothing on my face that I'm like, I particularly want to send backward or bring forward necessarily, with the exception of sometimes I do highlight in this area with the lighter color to kind of reduce the like appearance of hollows under the eye. But other than that, there's nothing that I'm really trying to like send backward or bring forward. So I really just put bronzer on the areas of the face that I want to look as though the sun has graced those places with its presence. So I'm going to use my visor mirror to blend this in. That's like that's like my least favorite mirror in my life. So you'll see like a lot of people that put their contour higher actually put it, someone just pulled up next to me, a lady just pulled up next to me. I got no shame in my game, so she's gonna watch me do my makeup tutorial from the side. But a lot of people like put their bronzer up higher, or I'm sorry, their contour up higher on their cheekbone, so it sort of mimics that effect a little bit and like elevates the cheekbones somewhat. But that is not my motivation here. Like, I truly just want it to look like I've been just, you know, carefree in the sun and without a care in the world. Like, I'm not worried about premature aging and all this stuff. And you can see the reason I brought it up so high into my hairline is because I like to, just like the sun would naturally do, this looks crazy right now, but I like to really bring it back into the hairline to make it look like very natural. Okay, so I bring all of that back and really blend it up. And even though this is a cream makeup, I really don't find that it makes my hair look like oily or anything like that. Like, I'm on, I don't even know the last time I washed my hair, maybe like 3 or 4 days ago. And I do this every day, so, and it definitely doesn't, my hair does not look like oily or around my hairline. Sometimes I have like a naturally occurring line of demarcation between my jawline and my neck. I think most women do, because that's what the sun naturally does, and that's what our, like, basically our sun damage, our skin that is discolored. First of all, your skin darkens as you age, and that is due to the impact of the sun. But so I can just like rectify that a little bit by blending my bronzer down onto my neck. And it kind of like, it might seem counterintuitive to do that, but if you like understand why there's that line of demarcation, which is because you have more like sun damage and skin discoloration on your face, and if bronzer is intended to mimic the impact of the sun, then you'll actually agree that it does make a lot of sense to bring this down onto the neck. I don't bring it all the way down, I just kind of like smooth that line a little bit so that it makes a little bit more sense. And that's it. Oh, the lady next to me in my car is also putting on makeup. I bet she thinks I'm just talking to someone on the phone. So that's cool. We'll just let her think that. Okay, so my bronzer's on. I think we can all agree I look a little bit more youthful and sun-kissed. So then I'm going to take Plum, which is my blush color. Maybe she's doing a makeup thing on her phone too. Wouldn't that be crazy? She's a little bit older. Well, I'm assuming that because she's got a pixie cut, but that doesn't actually mean she's older. Anyway, I'm going to put Plum on my finger, and I am going to go back into the areas. You're going to be like, why are you doing this? This is such overkill. I'm going to go back into the areas that I want to be sun-kissed, And I'm literally going to tap this into that. And whoop, that got a little close to my eye there. And I'm gonna tap Plum into those areas that I want to, basically the same place I put the the Hello bronzer, but not as intense as the bronzer. But the impact here is going to bring a little bit of flush to the face in places where the sun would naturally kiss the face. But this is going to bring in that element of warmth. Most people, when they become sun kissed or flushed by the sun, it is going to bring, because the capillaries underneath the skin, right, are so close to the top layer of the skin. That's what gives our skin that like red kind of ruddiness or redness with sun exposure. And so we're basically mimicking this, because most people, especially those people with a cool undertone, which I have a cool olive skin tone. There's hair on my face. When I become flushed from the sun, those capillaries create that like depth of, you know, kind of bluey, purpley undertone. So this is, for me, to create the color that is like, this is what the sun would naturally do. That's why I gravitate toward Plum, and that's why I kind of like kiss the, you know, high points of the cheek, etc. with it. And I think that looks ultra natural for how the sun kisses my cheeks. So I'm gonna apply just like the absolute smallest amount of my lighter highlight shade. Oops, that's not it. And so my lighter highlight shade is this one here. And I'm gonna do it just like ever so slightly. And this is the one time that I will go in with a finer, and I will go brush to face, like, I don't know what happened there. I got a text. Oh, my fellow makeup YouTuber is driving away. So this is the one time I will go into the lighter highlight shade with the actual like smaller detail brush and just go in and like just tap it gently in the areas that I want. And I'm not trying to create like ultra brightness here. I'm really just trying to bring forward areas of the face which have slight discoloration and therefore recede naturally. And you'll see that with just a touch of this brighter highlight shade, we can bring forward those more hollowed areas under the eye. And I don't get too crazy with this. I don't like a lot of product under the eye because I think that can, if you have any like creepiness or dryness under the eye, it can like accentuate that and bring it forward. One of the pillars of the shade matching for Seint artists is that if you feel like your highlight shade is causing your imperfections to be more noticeable, then you are probably in too light of a shade. So now that that's done, I'm going to take a different brush. This is a Real Techniques face setting brush, sorry, and I'm going to just take a little bit of this Covergirl powder. This is like ultra good stuff. It's their clean pressed powder, and this is in 120 Fair. And I'm just going to tap, 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 get most of the excess powder off my brush, and then I literally just tap that right here. And the reason I do that is to cancel the reflective properties of the cream base makeup. So you can see that here the hollows are kind of more visible. That's because there's a reflection coming off of them, and here they're blurred quite a bit more, and that's because we've just removed the reflection and therefore removed the dimension. So same thing on this side, tap, 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 and you can see that that blurs that pretty instantaneously, and I don't get too crazy. That's pretty much the only place on my face. Sometimes I tap powder right here for the same reason, but I mean, honestly, it just like depends. Like, I don't really get too crazy with powder because I think that powder ages my face. There's some people that can get away with wearing powder makeup. I'm not one of them. I realize though, like, you know, it's whatever. It's a preference. It's not for everybody. So I'm also going to take a different brush, this guy here, and I have a different, I do have a powder like palette with me, and I'm just going to tap into the blush color in here and put some of that on my eyelids. It's an unnecessary step, but I do have a little bit of discoloration on my eyelids, so this really just makes it kind of blend and look intentional. And I sometimes can put cream underneath. I also have some Seint eyeshadows that I sometimes use, but just for the sake of ease, I'm gonna just tap that there. And I'm not someone that can get away with not using, I can't get away with using cream products on my eyelids because I have like very hooded lids, very heavy, like products just kind of crease up on my eyelids. So, okay, with that done, I have just eyes, just a couple more steps here. Sorry, you have to like bear with me on this. I think that's everything. Okay, so really quickly, first thing I do with my eyes is I have this like e.l.f. pencil. It's so old, but this is like the OG. This is my absolute favorite because the shade is just so, it's truly so neutral. It's like the perfect shade. Let me just, I know a lot of people cut out their eyebrow stuff. They'll be like, I'm gonna go do my brows off camera and be right back. No, we're doing it today. We're in it. We're doing all of it. Okay, 9:36. And I just kind of like lay down a, what do you want to call this? Like kind of a base, a brow base. I want it to be subtle. I don't want it to be as striking as the actual color of my brows. I just want it to be almost like a shadowy backdrop that is like the shape of the brow. And then give her some little flicks. I do have another, the NYX one, the NYX brow pen that is like a felt tip pen. I also like for doing the little flicks, but I'm really not going to see anybody in person today. Everything is just over like video conference or whatever, over Microsoft Teams. So it doesn't have to be perfect. If I were going to like see people in person, I probably would go in with the NYX pencil, the felt tip eyeliner pencil, because it's a little bit more believable, realistic looking in person. Another thing, just a quick side mention, this is the e.l.f. Wow Brow Gel. Same concept. It's like a very neutral toned brunette, which is why I like it. But if you're going to be on like video calls all day and you're using Seint makeup, you may want to like what a good thing to do would be just like log in, set up your camera to just see what your camera sees, and then just tap your face with some powder like while you're looking in your video feed or whatever, like so that way you can kind of see what your coworkers or whoever you're talking to see. And depending on the angle of where you're sitting in relation to the light that is hitting your face, you could have shine in other areas besides those that I have chosen to powder today. And some people don't want shininess, other people don't care. Like when I log into my Teams meetings and I see how the light's hitting my face and see the video feed, I do have other areas that are kind of shiny, but I kind of like it. I think that that's truly like why I like Seint makeup, is because of that just youthful, dewy, glowy aspect of it. But if you are on video calls all day and you want to get around that, then just keep some powder like close by at your desk or whatever, and then just powder like as you see fit on calls. I'm getting mascara everywhere. This is the Essence Lash Princess false lash effect mascara. It was literally $5 on Amazon. I'm pretty sure you can find it in like any drugstore that carries Essence products. I know like the CVS by our old house carried Essence. The CVS by our new house does not carry Essence, but fortunately is available on Amazon, and this is like hands down the best mascara I have ever used ever in my life, and it's $5. And I've tried like all the mascaras. This is like one coat of mascara. I don't get too crazy with it. Sometimes I'll add a little bit more, just depends on like the vibe I'm trying to achieve. But I've talked my actual face off putting on makeup today, so we're gonna do one coat, and that's the end. That's the finished. Oh, you know what, I need some stuff on my lips. I didn't do any skincare this morning, by the way. I went heavy on my skincare last night before bed, and I was still a little dewy. This morning. This is the Laniege sleeping mask. I don't use this as a sleeping mask. I use this as like my go-to all the time lip balm, and it just makes my lips look very like, you know, plump and youthful and all that stuff. So I haven't brushed my hair yet this morning either. It probably looks like it. That's fine. So I have a conference call coming up in about 20 minutes. I'm going to get on the road, get home, maybe run a brush through my hair, maybe pull it back into a low bun. I haven't decided yet. Decisions, I know. But this is it. This is the finished look. Welcome to my very first ever get ready in my car with me. Get ready with me in my car. That's what it is. And if you've watched up to this point, like, hell yes, like, thank you. What else? That's it. I hope you have a great day. It's, as I'm filming this, Wednesday, hump day. Sorry, that's right. That's it's like the worst, like not even funny, but I just can't help myself. So anyway, if you've made it this far, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.